My name is Sandra Merritt, and this is my video response for Dr. Crosby's scenario of creating a sixth grade academy situation. So his first question to us was, when presenting this sixth grade academy, so we're going essentially from a 4-person middle school traditional team to a 2-person team. And in that 2-person team, that 2 people would be teaching 2 subjects rather than 1. And one of the blaringly obvious issues that people or pushback that teachers would give you for that is they wouldn't want to be going from a teacher of 1 subject to 2. To address that conflict, or to kind of at least soften the blow of that conflict, thankfully I have taught on both 4-people team and 2-person team before, so I've had experience doing both. And because of that, I would mention some of the positives that I had in teaching in a 2-person team scenario. One of the biggest positives when I taught English language arts and science. So English language arts can be very heavy as far as it doesn't lend itself with as much hands-on, as many manipulatives. It's very like reading forward and heavy on writing and written instruction. And so one of the biggest bonuses when I was teaching ELA and science was I really looked forward to teaching my science classes, because I was able to kind of switch gears and do a little bit less writing and do more experimentation, hands-on activities. It was more active engagement in my science class, and not that we couldn't do it in ELA, it was just science lends itself to more active engagement. And so that's how I would present it to teachers, and how I would hopefully soften the blow with the reluctance to go from teaching 1 subject to 2. The second question is, how and when should it be introduced? Ideally, if I ruled the world, but seriously, I would introduce it as soon as we knew that it was set in stone. For several reasons, and that hopefully would be in January. So ideally, we would present this idea of the 6th grade academy in January, or just any time really before contracts are signed. That's really because I have been in situations where the expectations for the next year changed right after contracts were signed, and teachers tend to feel like that was done on purpose. So I wouldn't want that negative connotation to be kind of attached to it, and I wouldn't want teachers to think, oh, well, they just waited till we signed the contract so we couldn't get out of our contract, and they did that on purpose. So that whole like negative attitude about they've done this on purpose so that I would be forced to teach 2 subjects, I would definitely present it long before mid-February, when teachers sign their contracts, so they wouldn't feel like they were being made to do something, that they knew ahead of time and they were able to think about whether they wanted to do this or not, or whether that was right for them for the next year, and they would have a choice to sign their new contract or not to sign it. So I would definitely do that sooner rather than later. And then next, what strategies would I use in presenting, and how does that feed into Knowles' adult learning strategy? So one thing that I would do is I would present it as like a town hall kind of meeting, and let everybody present, like the administration present their thoughts and their why. I definitely present your why. Definitely highlight the positive aspects of we're going to go from 100 students to 50 students. This is going to ensure that you're able to build relationships faster and with more ease, and you have a more open line of communication with parents. You get more family support in this situation. So there's lots of positives that we could use in order to present this type of sixth grade academy. And I think that if you just kind of present that and give teachers a chance to provide feedback, ask questions, voice their concerns in like a town hall setting, and that definitely goes to feeding into Knowles' need to know. Clearly, they're going to understand that they're going to need to know what's going on in order to do a good job the next year. But it also lends to their readiness to learn, especially if you're asking for them to provide feedback and really kind of think about what you're asking them to do. Give them some time to kind of, get that in their mind and formulate some questions and then give feedback. So the second thing that I would do is have an anonymous survey, or at least a survey where you are getting feedback from the teacher in order to kind of quell some of their fears and apprehension in going from these 4-man team into the 2-man team. And this again goes to Knowles' readiness to learn, because after you've given the teachers an opportunity to kind of process what you're asking of them, you're giving them an opportunity to have a question and answer session with administration, kind of the why behind it, and then you're able to give them some downtime where they can ask questions. Now I've really thought about it. These are the questions, these are the concerns that I have. And then for the administration to address those concerns after giving that survey, town hall survey, and then address those questions. So you're going to provide kind of a safe environment for the teachers to voice their concerns and have some of their questions asked. And if you do this all again before contracts are signed, nobody feels like that they were tricked into doing this. And hopefully you're going to start out a year. It's going to be a struggle for everybody involved, but at least people can go into the new school year with a positive attitude, feeling like they did have some voice in the situation.